This is the 49 Carats Prospect Spotlight. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the 49 Carats Prospect Spotlight, where you get a chance to learn more about NFL draft hopefuls. I'm Steph Sanchez. Today, I'm joined by St. John's tight end Alex Larson. Alex, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. I appreciate you asking me and inviting me onto your podcast. It's truly a blessing.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. You have like an interesting journey to where you are now, and so I'm not even gonna waste any time. Let's get right into it, man. Because I understand like there was a time where you took a break of a few years from football. Like, how does it make you feel when you look back on that and see where you are now at the doorstep of an NFL draft?
Yeah, I stopped playing football after my eighth grade season, so I didn't really play football up until my senior year of high school. And I was just playing because I was pretty burnt out of basketball and just I needed something else to do. And I found success my senior year of high school, and St. John's gave me the opportunity to play football and basketball, which I ended up only playing football. And that became one of the greatest blessings because I was surrounded by a great coaching staff that supported me throughout the whole way. I mean, on the 49ers, there's Ben Barch that I got to learn from as a freshman. So that was really cool. But, the whole journey is it's been an awesome process, and I've been surrounded by great people.
So talk to me a bit about the basketball side because you really turned to that during your time away from football. Like it seemed like you were pretty set on it. You even committed to St. John to play basketball. How easy or how difficult was it to then, give up basketball when you pivoted back to football?
Yeah, it was definitely tough because that was a big part of my identity, especially in high school. That was kind of what I was focusing on all throughout high school. So, I mean, playing AAU, I was playing basically year round. And, after I played football, I was like, man, I really like this game. I love it. Love being with the boys, grinding the weight room, all that stuff, and just the team camaraderie. And, I thought football, was what I wanted to do, but it was definitely tough giving up basketball, but I still found ways early on in my college career to like play intramurals and stuff, which is always fun. But that was definitely tough.
Like obviously with that basketball background too, like some of those skills typically like do translate into football. I know it's very common for a lot of guys to have played both at some point. But for you, interesting, you said basketball was a part of your identity. I feel like it's still a part of your identity and a part of your football identity now because you've really taken advantage of those skill sets and made it part of your football game. So that's part of the reason why your coach even wanted you to switch to tight end instead of receiver, right? So was it very intentional for you to bring those skills into your football game, or did it just come natural to you?
I would say it came pretty natural. I always prided myself in basketball on being a tough defender and going up in every board, every rebound possible that was going to be mine. So that was my role in high school, and I that kind of just translated over to the football field. Those high point jump balls or just being aggressive, attacking the ball. That all kind of translated natural for me over to the football field.
And I know when you made the transition from wide receiver to tight end, you really worked your butt off. So how did
hmm
those conversations go with your coach early on? And as far as training for that different position, like what went into that transition for you?
Yeah, it happened after my freshman year season. I talked with my OC or offensive coordinator and thought it was both best idea for me to transition over to tight end. And it was definitely a tougher transition. I put on about 35 pounds in about 6 months, um, which that was a lot of weight. So my body was it was handling a lot of things going on at once. Just a lot of new weight put on and all that, and trying to get used to that. But just the whole blocking side of it took me a little bit to get, and just like the demeanor to the want to block. That's one thing that I feel like always had, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to help my team win. and playing tight end, I was going to do whatever it took to do the best I can could or best I could.
I'm sure like having the experience of having to put on a lot of weight in a short amount of time or vice versa is kind of helping you out at this stage while you're training for stuff right now.
Hmm.
I'll get into that more in a bit, but when making that transition to tight end, it definitely requires some more of that blocking responsibility. So what's your mindset on blocking these days?
Just being aggressive at the point of attack, that's the biggest thing for me. I got long levers, and just the point of emphasis on staying low and just being aggressive on that point of attack. I mean, that's I know like there's DNs in the league that I'm not going to overpower, but if I can get in and have a strong point of attack, that's what's really going to be big for me.
We got a couple of questions in the chat. So shout out to the chat for keeping the conversation going here. Gaiman has a couple for you. He says, "Do you enjoy passes over the middle?" We'll answer that one first.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that was kind of my cup of tea in college. I mean, I'm a bigger guy, and for the quarterback, I got a big target radius, and I'm comfortable going over the middle, and it's definitely risky, but I feel like I do a good job protecting myself, and yeah, I feel comfortable, and I like going over the middle.
All right, his second question is, "What's a better feeling, catching a touchdown pass or making a key block for the running back on a touchdown run?"
Honestly, this might be surprising, but I'm gonna say that key block because I mean, I I love seeing the success of my teammates, and like dang, I really dominated that block and helped set up that play. That's pretty hard to do. Like catching touchdowns came more naturally to me. So like I would say making that key block was would definitely be more important for me.
I feel it definitely probably feels a little more like rewarding at the time because you helped to make that happen.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
all right, we got another question here from Ducktail Devil. Does he box out or separate to make catches better? Look, I know you do, but just tell us a little bit about that part of your game.
Yeah, I mean, I I always like to say that even when I'm pretty or covered tight, that I was still open because I just felt like I had good body control and um, am a lot longer than mostly everyone who was guarding me. So I feel like I boxed like that's where kind of basketball came into part too, like using my body to create separation and go
Mhm.
up and catch a ball.
And when you made that transition to tight end, Gammon wants to know, what were you eating to put on that much weight in 6 months?
Oh my gosh, yeah, it was. I was at the dining hall like crazy. I mean, 6 meals a day. Like it's. I mean, I've basically been eating 5 6 meals a day just to maintain or gain weight for the last 3 years. So I mean, it's like a job. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But it's I wouldn't trade it.
That's the part of, like, football and just, like, being an athlete in general that I think a lot of, like, fans don't really see or don't really know of, and, you gotta appreciate that too, because there's a lot of dedication that goes into losing weight, and people don't even think about that, but even gaining weight, like, there's a lot of commitment that goes into that too, so, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a lot of work on that. So, was there a year at St. John where you felt like your game really took off and things started to click for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think the my first year playing tight end, that was kind of the biggest after that first game. I mean, kind of being getting comfortable with everything, and I mean, from that beginning of that year to the end of the year, I thought my game totally evolved. I mean, I was for my first game just being raw, having the first game kind of jitters, like, and then to the last game, I just watching film too, just it totally evolved from like a 180, like became a pretty well-rounded tight end at that point at the end of the year, my 2 years or 2 3 years ago.
Well, this past season, you were named the AFCA First Team All American for your second straight year. Congrats on that.
Appreciate it.
How does it feel to get that recognition, just knowing like the journey you've taken to get here?
Yeah, it's a great accomplishment. And that's kind of those were goals I set early on as a freshman. I being a multiple time All-American, I got that, and that was a cool accomplishment. Now I'm on to the next step and create new goals and going out to achieve them.
Yeah, that's right. Created new goals. The goals never stop. And I know that, being that maybe you don't have as much playing time as a football player as other players maybe, like are there any areas that you've sort of self-identified as things, you want to improve on?
I mean, yeah, obviously, uh, key emphasis on the blocking aspect, just staying low, and using my length. And like I said, that point of attack, that's always going to be a key emphasis for me because that's going to be necessary especially at the next level with dudes that are a lot bigger and stronger. And then just I think just being a little more fluid out of my routes. I mean, obviously there's little stuff here and there that I need to keep picking up and getting better, but I'm a student of the game and I'm always looking to learn. So any opportunity I get to learn from someone running routes or even DBs, just getting all different perspectives how things, I'm always learning.
Well, you got the chance to participate at the CGS All-Star. That's definitely a great opportunity
Hmm.
to, learn some things, get around other different athletes who are on the same boat as you, and put yourself out there in front of scouts. How did that week go for you? How do you feel like it went?
I thought it was a great experience first off because, I got playing at D3. I'm not gonna. There's the competition at D3. It's great. Like top of D3, great competition, and it was good for me to see that I definitely belong here, and um it was a good experience. I thought I showed some good stuff on tape, and obviously I got beat on some reps, but that's football, and I thought I showed that I competed every rep, and I thought I showed the strengths of my game. So I thought overall it was a great experience, and I got a lot out of it.
And I'm sure, like, as I mentioned, like part of what you could get out of it is just being able to talk to teams and teams getting to see you up close, talk to you. Um, and I'm sure you got that opportunity. So, what's the feedback that you've gotten from teams so far? What's kind of their consensus on you? What they like, what they want to see improve, all that.
Yeah, I mean, what I've been hearing is just the my hands, my measurables, and just being a savvy route runner. That's kind of what I've heard. For the positives and negatives that I need to work on is just like I said, keep being aggressive at that point of attack and showing that I can, um, know what runs going on and being able to position myself to be in the right spot and do my job.
And I know you're preparing for your pro day now, so that's a great chance to definitely show some of the improvements that
Yep.
you're working on. How has training been going so far? What's a typical day of training like for you?
Yeah. So I'm training at Training House in Eagan, Minnesota. I got the sweatshirt on, but
Okay, you repping.
yeah. So yeah, I get there around 9:30 ish, and I'm there till 3, usually around 3 o'clock. I mean, like Wednesdays and Fridays vary because we're doing more field work on Fridays, and Wednesdays are more of a recovery day. But I know it's been a great experience just being around guys that are like minded. That's it just motivated me to keep improving and be better. So it's great, especially the training staff too is awesome. Yeah, it's been a great experience.
That's great. I'm glad it's going well for you. And with the combine happening right now, I believe the tight ends do their on-field drills tomorrow. Are you paying close attention to those numbers, and will you use it as fuel for your training and for your pro day?
Yeah, I'll definitely follow along, but at the end of the day, I can control what I'm going to control, and I know what work I've been putting in, and I'm not going to put too much weight on what other people are doing. I'm just going to do what I do, what I can do my best at. So
I love the perspective there. And obviously your days are very busy right now. You said 7 to 3. That's like a full-time shift right there. What are you doing with your relaxation time?
yeah, I mean, I when I get back home, I don't like being on my feet too often. So either I'm doing some yoga or I'm just staying off my feet. Or while I'm at the building, we get like medical checkups, either like chiropractic or they got these Normatec boots that are super nice, contrast therapy, all that stuff. So I mean, I'm doing what I can to make or have my body feel its best, especially for pro day coming up.
Yeah, yoga is definitely beneficial. I'm a fan of yoga. What's your favorite yoga pose right now?
I mean, child's pose is a classic. I mean,
Yeah, it
that's a
is.
classic. I mean, obviously we're in a lot of down dog positions, three-legged dog. But pigeon pose is another one that's great too.
That's a good that one's tough, but it'll really, like, stretch out, the piriformis muscle and all that, get the
Oh
hips
yeah.
opened up, so, yeah, that's probably definitely beneficial. I saw in another interview, that you did, that you watch a lot of George Kittle and Gammon, with the clutch question, I'm going there, that you watch a lot of George Kittle, you try
Hmm.
to emulate him a bit. Obviously, being a 49ers fan myself, a lot of the viewers 49er fans too. We love that answer. What
Yeah.
about his game do you especially enjoy?
Just his like moxie, he walks out every like pancakes the guy and then just laughs in his face. Like that's badass. I mean, but no, he's the ultimate tight end. Like he does everything that you want from a tight end. He's the blocking's an extra lineman added, and then in the pass game, I mean, he's super fast. After catch is unbelievable. His routes are crisp. I mean, it's what you want from a your tight end on a team. So I mean, watching him and watching YouTube on how he gets open and how he is so good at blocking, it's awesome to watch.
Yeah, he's really gotten even like every year it feels like he gets better at blocking. That's just the definitely something to admire with him. Foxtail Devil says, "What's his weight, his height, weight, speed?" I know you're 6'7". I know that won't change, but the weight and the speed, you're preparing for pro day. So what are you at right now and what are you kind of looking to get to for your pro day?
I'm sitting around 240ish right now. And for speed, I'm getting better. I've been improving. And you would just have to wait till pro day and see what I run.
I like it. I like it. You're leaving us in suspense here. So when
Yeah.
is your pro day?
It's March 14th. I'm going to the University of
Okay.
Minnesota
That's
pro day.
close.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, that's coming up. So Foxtail, make sure that you tune in to see what he runs. But Alex, this has been awesome. I just always end my interviews with this one last question here. What is a team and a fan base getting with Alex Larson, both on and off the field?
With me, you're getting a guy that's gonna control his controllables and do it at a high level. I mean, attitude. I'm always gonna have a great attitude. Um, and that helps with my Lord and Savior, just being grateful every day for all the opportunities I'm getting. My preparation, I pride myself in my preparation. Um, that I'm going to be prepared for practice, whatever it is. I'm going to be try to be most prepared, and so I can perform my best. Attitude, preparation, and my effort. I mean, I'm going to do whatever I can to make the team and help the team win. And I think my teammates, coaches at St. John's could vouch for me for that. And that those are three things that I'm gonna bring, and I'm gonna try to bring at the highest level.
I love it. I love it. And I know a team will definitely love it as well. Alex, best of luck, these next few months and obviously beyond that as well. We're going to be tuning in for that pro day and cheering you on and see how you do.
Oh, yeah, appreciate the interview. It's truly a blessing.
Appreciate you, Alex. And for everyone that tuned in as well, appreciate you guys. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, because there will be plenty more prospect spotlight interviews just like this one. But for now, have a good rest of your Friday, folks. Peace.